This is R&R in the morning. He's Rudy J. I'm Rob Thompson. You're on San Antonio Sports Star, and we'd like to welcome aboard for his weekly head coach of your Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy. Coach, welcome aboard. How's your week been?
It's been a good week, really good week. Been obviously a little busy here and getting ready to play a big game. It's been awesome. How's your guys' week going?
We good, man. We missed you. It's been about 3 weeks, Coach.
I know. I'm kind of going through it here. I mean, we're gonna go for an extra 15 minutes today, or what? We got to catch up.
Well, I hope so.
We do, and while we'd like to apologize for the lack of tacos, there's a manpower shortage everywhere. They don't have practice squads at taco places, and when the manpower gets short, deliveries get kind of slowed down. No tacos coming this week, so we're going to have to talk next week after this win. But since we haven't talked to you in a couple weeks, the shift toward the playoffs and the end of the regular season, this feels like it's been a long time. I know in your life it has not been a long week. But for a Cowboy fan like us, not a lot of news coming out of the Star, and that's a good thing, I suppose. But does it feel quick, or does it feel like it's time for a game on Sunday?
I think it feels focused. I mean, that's how it feels internally. So I mean, I guess what I'm saying is you're feeling, how we're feeling. The guys are focused on what we need to do. This is a very disciplined team, as far as work ethic and how they go about their business. Obviously I've coached a number of teams, so feel good about how the week's going. But yeah, this is it's how you want the week to go. I think all the extra stuff is just gets in the way a little bit. But so far, I say that, knock on wood here, but it's been a pretty seamless week, and it's been all about football.
Yeah, I guess that was going to be my question, coaches. I hear all you coaches said a lot of times, the practice is leading up to the game. Practice is leading up to the game. How did you feel the team looked practice-wise leading up to this game Sunday afternoon?
Oh, it's been a good week. We had a chance to, we had the extra day, playing on Saturday night. So, we had a chance to jump ahead Monday, get a lot of video done, and just really challenged everybody to, come in here Wednesday with, make sure they had their hands around the matchups and the video, that component of it. But yeah, it's Wednesday was really, really good for Wednesday practice. Yesterday we had a kind of a padded work. We had hit a couple wrinkles over again, but it's been good so far. The guys are dialed in, and we'll definitely be ready to go come Sunday. But it's been a good week.
How often have you said the words Deebo Samuel this week?
Oh, definitely. I mean, you can't watch their offense without saying Deebo Samuel. I mean, he's definitely a big part of what they do. I mean, he creates a lot of targeting challenges because they move him around so much, and they do a very good job of getting him the football. So, but I think you have to look at their whole perimeter. I mean, their perimeter definitely.
Coach, you're one of 4 coaches that went to at least 8 straight playoffs when you were at Green Bay. Have you, and when you won the Super Bowl, y'all think, I can't remember off the top, but I want to say you had 10, 11 guys down on defense. Is this one of your most healthy teams that you've had in your head coaching career going into the playoffs?
Yes, clearly. It's the health of our team is definitely is higher than probably most of the teams I've coached in the playoffs. So yeah, no doubt. I think the plan that we had and frankly being conservative throughout the year has served us well. And, I really like the way our guys have really stayed on top of it, and, the rotation and owning their role and not getting caught up in playing 50 plays as opposed to playing 35. So I think that's really, really served us well.
Did you feel a difference? Because this is the first time in NFL history that there were 17 games. But I mean, with damn near the whole team obviously missing a game or two here or there because of COVID, with the guys that did make it 17, did it feel different? Are the bodies, as far as the bodies and the breaking down, as far as the league, as far as the 17-game season goes?
Definitely. I think without a question, you felt it this year. I mean, you could credit COVID with some of that too.
Right.
I mean, the moving parts that you go through each week is unprecedented. I mean, just, having 84 players, in the building the whole year is unprecedented. So definitely, I mean, there's a lot more to do. There's a lot more roster development conversation, who's up, who's down, COVID exempt, practice squad exempt. So that whole process is clearly, the last 2 years is, something that I know I've never experienced, prior to that. So you had an extra weekend, and it definitely it has been a long year. So,
Coach, this might be too early to ask, and I'm sure you guys will dive into the numbers later, but because of the COVID absences, there was a little bit less wear and tear on the body. Are you seeing fewer guys in the training room, although you're missing more man hours on the games?
That's good insight, but you do got to factor in that our players have had COVID too.
Right.
So.
Right. Obviously, but we're not dealing with strains and pulls where you just, you kind of have an idea what it takes. You're dealing with the vagaries of a disease, quite frankly, we still don't understand.
All right, we'll go with your answer.
Well, there we go. That's a win. Coach Mike McCarthy joining us here on San Antonio's Sports Star, as he does always, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds.
You were after the game against Philly, Dak's last 4 games, 13 TDs, 0 interceptions. But you seem pretty excited to let the media know that, we kind of probably overreacted a bit to this whole slump that Dak went through, as far as the way he looked down the season. Talk about your quarterback and how y'all probably internally were like, we're fine, just let them talk.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that's part of a normal NFL season. It's part of playing quarterback in this league, and it's even heightened if you play quarterback for Dallas Cowboys. And trust me, we all understand that. I think the fact is, going back to the earlier answer, it's a long year, 17 games,
yeah.
so you have to account for all of them. They all count, but everything that goes on throughout the season counts. And frankly, I'm at this point, when you get through it, you get through the challenge of the regular season. I'm more appreciative and thankful for the negative times, because the negative times give you the opportunity to build, grow, and have the experience to overcome those situations when you encounter them, moving forward. So yes, and if you look at that block of time, there's a little more going on with the personnel and who's lining up and so forth. But every team goes through it. So I think those are good things when you're able to go through the valleys and come out of it on the other side of it, which we obviously did. So most importantly is we take those experiences and apply it to this game Sunday.
You land your parachute right where you're supposed to. At the end of the season, you're relatively healthy. You're coming into a game playing at home. Continuity being key here. And when you come against the 49ers, let's look at your offensive line. Continuity is going to play a role in this. And coming against a defensive line that gets pressure both inside and out. Tell us about Tyron and Lael and what your expectations are from that offensive line, and how much of a role does that play into that supposed lack or coming out of a slump?
Well, the offensive line, really, if you just look at the battles of their offensive line versus our defensive line and vice versa, that's going to be a big focal point for the success of the game. It always starts up front, but if you look at just, when you just look at the depth charts and you start the personnel breakdown, where do they spend their money? That's the first thing, that we look at as a coaching staff. And obviously they got tremendous resources in both their offensive and defensive lines. So, so that's part of the challenge. We love our matchups. LC and Tyron have big matchups, the guys inside. So it's playoff football. There's, you're not putting up, profile tapes and objectives and saying, hey, we're so much better in this area. It's, you don't get to this part of the season. So you got to beat the best. You got to beat the best doing your best. So, and that's what this time of year is all about.
You brought up the word focus. You keep saying focused. How much talk have y'all discussed as far as this week goes, as far as maybe it's every week, but especially going into the playoffs, as far as the penalties and, because you brought up the fact that how disciplined the 49ers are. I'm not sure if you meant penalty wise or just schematic wise, but is there like a number of penalties y'all want to stay under, or is it just, let's just go out and play the right way? How does that work as far as your perspective?
Well, you got to go out, you got to really focus on playing the right way, because when you harp on anything negative too much, it slows players down. That's my opinion.
Okay.
So our play style is at premium. So we need to play faster than they do, and they play fast. They have an excellent play style. So we're not concerned about the penalties going into the game. It's something we work on every day at practice. I think when you look at rankings, you go, oh my God. But if you look at, we're 1.5 penalties more than the top 10 team in the league. So I think that's the reality of it. So it's an all-star crew. It's the Alex Kemp super crew is what they call it. So you got guys that don't work together every week. So they're going to go out and they're going to do a good job. And frankly, I would hope and think that they don't really want to be part of the outcome of the game. So, and that's how I'm looking at it.
You think your kicker's ready? You think Greg Zuerlein is ready? I know a lot of people been on him, but we talked with you about him after week 1. It was after the Tampa game, and you kind of compared to Mason Crosby. But then the thing is, Coach, like, yes, every kicker misses them. We've seen him miss kicks, but then he'll hit a 56-yarder, to win the game. So you think Greg Zuerlein's going to be up to the challenge on Sunday afternoon?
Oh, yes, I do, without question. I mean, I think this is all the product of what a 17-game season gives you. Going back to what we talked about earlier. I mean, you have experiences that go on that you're able to learn from, and he's having an excellent week of prep. He's been in there on Monday and Tuesday just working on some little details and so forth. But hey, he's a pro. He's been there before. He's kicked in big games. He's kicked in Super Bowl. So and that's what I'm counting on. He's very much respected and loved in the locker room, and and those are all important points. And at the end of the day, we're going to line up and do whatever we need to do, and he'll be part of that come Sunday.
This is exciting, Coach. I mean, you've been a part of Green Bay. You were an OC in 49ers, Cowboys. When I first saw Cowboys 49ers, I'm thinking Joe, I'm thinking Steve Young, I'm thinking Troy, Dion, Haley. Like, this is, and when I see lower level tickets going for $2,400, I'm like, I know you, Coach.
I hope they're wearing blue.
I know we don't want Cowboy fans selling those tickets, Coach. But let me tell you something. If I could get somebody to pay me $2,400 for a seat, I might let it go, Coach.
Well, it's all part of the challenge. I guess it's discipline and focus has its boundaries, as I'm hearing. So,
yes, discipline and focus have their boundaries. That's also a T-shirt we have on. Coach Mike McCarthy joining us on San Antonio Sports Star. Hey, news coming out of your office. You got a cohort getting a little pay raise. Does McClay owe you guys a steak dinner? How does that work?
Well, I know I'm giving them all this public love. I mean, I hope at least to get a steak dinner out of this deal. I mean, I've been beating his drum here. Trust me, we're very excited to get that done with Will. I mean, he's a big part of how we operate here, and I know personally I really enjoy working with Will. So I think he's someone we spent a tremendous amount of time together. But I know Steve and Jerry, everybody's was thrilled yesterday to get that done.
Coach, part of being successful, people start coming looking for your coordinators. How does that work? Are they not allowed to talk to these other teams? I mean, first of all, I'm sure you want them to go and be successful, but they not allowed to go and interview until after y'all season is done? I know we've heard Kellen Moore's name brought up. We've heard Dan Quinn's name brought up, and rightfully so. Is that a distraction, and how does that work as far as rules wise?
No, Dan and Kellen have done a tremendous job. I mean, you wouldn't know it internally, So, and I think it's a big part of how we operate every day as a staff. It's important to be the same person every day, and Dan and Kellen have both done that. So, and they're definitely so deserving of the opportunities in front of them. And but to a man, speaking for them, I mean they're committed on getting this done, and obviously they have huge roles come Sunday, and they've been focused and staying right on task.
He is the head coach of your Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy. He stops by on Fridays, courtesy of AA Best Bail Bonds. Hey, Coach, we bid you a good, fast and furious Friday and a good game on Sunday, and we look forward to some barbacoa and Big Red next Friday. Good luck, Coach. Thanks for stopping by.
All right. Appreciate it, man. Take care.
Thanks.
Head coach of your Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy.